Welcome back to another coffee break. Looking at the calendar, it looks like we might have counting today, 4 coffee break videos left for the year, maybe 5 if I squeeze in one at the last minute. In reality, that's 4 or 5 videos left for this YouTube channel. And this channel will be history. I'm going to leave it up for about a year, and then I'll take it down probably June of next summer, because, you know, who wants to watch it after that? I was reading not too long ago, I've been trying to figure out a way to make myself more productive because, as I have mentioned in the past, I am a huge procrastinator. And, you know, I can set aside time. For instance, if I'm going to write a blog post, I can set aside time, an hour, hour and a half to write that blog post, and I will find that I will do just about anything other than write a blog post. I'll search the internet, I'll watch YouTube, I'll read a book, I'll get another cup of coffee, I'll do whatever. And I don't want that to happen when I'm trying to juggle as many different projects as I'm going to attempt to do once I am retired. So I've been looking at a way to become more productive. And one of the things that I stumbled across, and it's really not a new it's not a new concept at all, but it wasn't really a new concept to me. I just didn't know what it was called. It's something called the Pomodoro method. Now, the Pomodoro method was created by a college student years and years ago, who was also trying to find a way to juggle all the stuff. And basically, he got what we would call a sand timer, you know, one of those you turn upside down, let the sand fall through. And it had 2 round balls that the sand was in, one on the bottom, one on the top. And they reminded him of Pomodoro tomatoes, which is how it got its name. And so his timer was a 25-minute timer. And he would set aside 25 minutes to work on a particular part of a project. So with writing a blog post, it might be a time set aside to do the brainstorming, and a time set aside to do the rough draft, and another time set aside to do the revisions and get it scheduled to post. And so his deal was he would work for 25 minutes, and then he would take a 5-minute break. And after the 5-minute break, when he would be able to stretch his legs or get a cup of coffee or do whatever, then he would turn the timer back over and work for another 25 minutes. The idea being, in educational terms, I suppose, we call that chunking. And so he would chunk blocks of time to work on. And I really think that it's something that maybe we have not used enough in the classroom. Because our kids can't concentrate. They won't work for very long at a time. And that's not, you know, I'm not blaming technology for that. I'm not blaming their cell phones for that. They're kids. They're just kids. They look like adults, but they're just kids. And so they can't work for a 90-minute stretch in your classroom. They can't work for a 45-minute stretch in your classroom. And so as you're thinking about lesson plans for next year and how you're going to sort of revamp things and start anew and do different things, you might consider something along the lines of the Pomodoro method. Now, so for me, if I was doing that now, I would probably do a 20-minute chunk of time in my classroom and a 3-minute break. And then another 20-minute chunk of time and a 3-minute break. And during that 3-minute break, let kids talk, let them get up, walk around the room if they need to. Don't tell anybody, but you could let them use their phones for a couple of minutes. I won't be here, so I'm not going to care. And if you're in a 45-minute skinny, maybe it's a 15-minute chunk of time, or even a 12-minute chunk of time and a 2-minute break. But give them something to look forward to. If you will concentrate on this part of this project for this number of minutes. When those minutes are up, you're going to get a dopamine rush from the reward you're going to get. And that will help you to go back into being focused again for another 12, 15, 20, 25 minutes. And so I would encourage you to think about that this summer as you're doing your lesson plans. How can I chunk my lesson plan up so that my students are not overwhelmed with the work I'm trying to give them? That's it for this week. We'll see you next time.